Hey everyone, my name is Reagan Brummett, and today I'm going to be talking about the way that chemistry and biology work together to fight the disease azithromycin, or AZT. AZT is the antiviral drug that changed the course of the HIV epidemic. It's amazing how it uses our own enzymes to change into an active form that then tricks the HIV's reverse transcriptase into stopping the virus from replicating. So today I'll show you how AZT works in the body, how it attacks HIV, and why it only attacks the virus and not us. So I'll be beginning my power presentation now. So what exactly is AZT? It is the antiviral medication known as Retrovir AZT, and it is used to treat HIV/AIDS. In order for HIV to convert RNA to DNA, an enzyme called reverse transcriptase is required. By blocking the activity of that enzyme, AZT halts the propagation of the virus. Once AZT enters the body, cellular enzymes convert it to its active form. AZT triphosphate, because of this striking resemblance to its naturally occurring DNA building block thymidine, the virus accidentally incorporates it into the genetic coding. However, the addition of AZT prevents the virus from replicating itself by preventing the DNA chain from growing any further. Moving right on, we're going into my slide titled Thymidine to AZT. This is the connection between AZT and DNA. With one minor but significant exception, AZT nearly exactly replicates thymidine, which is a normal DNA component. The 3' carbon in thymidine has a hydroxyl group. In AZT, an azeto group takes its place. Additional DNA chain extension is prevented by that one substitution. Therefore, AZT functions as a dead end when it is incorporated into viral DNA. This stops replication right away. It is interesting to note that AZT was initially created as a possible cancer treatment before its antiviral qualities were identified. In addition to this, my diagram emphasizes the difference between the hydroxyl group and the azeto group. Moving on to my next slide titled Activation of AZT. At first, AZT is an inactive prodrug. Enzymes that enter our cells and add 3 phosphate groups produce AZT triphosphate, which is the active antiviral compound. This activation process essentially charges AZT, enabling it to stop HIV replication. My diagram here shows the stepwise addition of phosphate groups in AZT. Moving on to my next slide, titled How AZT Works. HIV's reverse transcriptase substitutes AZTP for thymidine during replication. However, once AZT is incorporated, DNA synthesis ceases because it does not contain the 3' hydroxyl group. This early stop, known as the chain termination, stops at the virus's replication and doesn't allow it to finish its DNA. The diagram I included indicates chain termination with the X. Now on to my next slide titled Why AZT Works. So, HIV's reverse transcriptase is prone to errors. It is unable to proofread and frequently confuses AZT for thymidine. And this is ultimately why AZT works. Healthy cells are spared because of our own DNA polymerases are far more selective and mostly ignore AZT. Overall, though, AZT is much more harmful to the virus than to humans, though it can occasionally be incorporated by mitochondrial enzymes, which account for some side effects. My diagram includes the contrast viral chain stop with normal DNA continuation. Now onto my next slide titled The Impact of AZT. AZT made history as the first FDA-approved HIV drug back in 1987. It gave patients more time and hope when very few options existed. It also paved the way for a combination therapy known as HAART and helps prevent mother-to-child transmission. AZT remains a landmark example of how chemistry can change the course of medicine. The diagram shows AZT's role in the HIV life cycle. In conclusion, AZT is a direct representation of how chemistry and medicine can impact lives directly. Its lack of a hydroxyl group prevents DNA synthesis, yet it closely resembles thymidine. It is enough to completely throw off the HIV's enzyme. It is one of the most influential medications in medical history we know of today, and it was created by only a singular alteration. It was straightforward and saved so many lives, and still does to this day. Thank you all for watching my slideshow presentation. Have a great day.